Today we're checking out the Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts free Axel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. And let's get into it. Hey, what is going on guys? Today we're checking out the Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts free Axel. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to check out this video. Any and all support you guys drop in this video is much appreciated. Leave a suggestion in the comments below for what video you guys want to see next, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here's our front. We have a nice window display to showcase the figure inside the box with all the accessories. So if you want to keep the figure inside the packaging, you can, and you will still get a very nice look at the figure. And here's a look at the back of the packaging. So we have some screenshots of the figure in various poses. And down here we have some text, credits and logos on the making of the figure. Okay, and so here's a quick look at the packaging for my other Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts free figures. So let's take a look at what we have here. So first up we have the second form Sora figure. Next up we have the Pirate Sora. Here we have Kairi and Riku, and down here we have the King, Axel, the Shadow 2-pack, another form Cloud Strife, and another form Sephiroth. So yeah guys, there's a quick look at the packaging for the other figures in the series. Alright, and so here's a look at the inside of the packaging, and so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So first up we have the figure himself. Looks like such a nice piece. And next up here we have the Keyblades, and we have a spare head sculpt. Down here we have some of these ice creams, and we have a few pairs of interchangeable hands. Over here we have some more of these weapons, and we have the display stands, and apart from that we have the outer packaging. Alright guys, and so here's the figure of the packaging, and yeah, it's a pretty nice piece. So I think the sculpting and the paint job on this figure are absolutely fantastic. They've done a really great job here, and I quite like the fact that the figure comes with a lot of accessories. Now I did have a couple of problems with this figure. I found that the joints on this figure are very loose, especially around the shoulder and the wrists. The joints just don't seem to stay on, and they seem to pop off very easily. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's just my figure, but that was one problem that I had with this figure. But yeah, apart from that, it's a very nice piece, and as I mentioned, it's got a nice sculpt and a nice paint job, and a nice variety of accessories. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the figure. Stay tuned guys. Alright, and so here's a look at the figure. And so here we have the head sculpts. Such a nice head sculpt. I love how crisp and clean the sculpt is. It's just such a sharp sculpt, and you can really pick up every bit of detail. I also love how clean the paint job is around the face, especially around the eyes. As you can see, his eyes are painted a very bright green colour, and they've even got a tiny tint of white in there, just to really make them stand out. It looks really good. You can even see his eyebrows painted in there. They're painted a very light red type of colour. It's very subtly painted in there, but you can just about see them. And he's even got those symbols just right below his eyes, which is just a nice detail. Down here at the mouth, I think he's got his mouth partially open, and you can just about see his teeth in there, which once again is a very cool detail. And even the nose is quite nicely sculpted as well. So overall, I'm quite impressed with the face. I think it looks great. And here's a look at the hairpiece. Once again, very nicely done. Very sharp, very crisp and clean. It's pretty spiky, and I love how the hair is sculpted. You can really see like every individual piece that has been sculpted in there. Looks amazing. And so here's a look at the chest piece. So the rest of the figure is pretty plain. There's really not much going on here. But let's take a look nonetheless. So I'm really not sure what this silver thing is around his neck. I think it's a necklace, but I can't be sure about that. But it's pretty nicely sculpted, and he's got all these nice zip details sculpted on there. It really looks quite good. And here's a look at his arms. And so he's got like all these nice kind of folds and creases just sculpted in there. I mean, for the most part, the cloak piece is pretty smooth looking. It's got very smooth textures, but just some areas have these nice folds and creases. And here's a look at the other arm holding this weapon. And so moving down here to the bottom of the cloak piece. And so as I mentioned, the figure has very smooth textures. It's almost like a matte finish, which I think is really cool. And this cloak piece is also made out of like a softer piece of plastic. And here's a look at the bottom of the feet, or the boots, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, there's a look at the front of the figure. And so here's the side of the figure, and we have a nice profile of the face. Such an awesome looking profile. There's so many shapes in there. I especially love the hairpiece from the side. It's just so nicely detailed. And moving down here to the side of the chest piece and the cloak. Here's a look at the arms and the hand holding the weapon. And the other weapon right there in his other hand. Moving down here to the bottom of the cloak piece. All these nice zip details. And down here is the bottom of the feet. And so here's the other side of the figure. And so once again, we have a nice profile of the face. I love the face sculpt. It's probably one of my favorites Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts figures that they have made. It's just such a nice sharp sculpt. And once again, there's the hairpiece. Moving down here to the side of the arm and the body piece. And there's the hand holding the weapon. And the bottom of the cloak piece. And the feet. And so here's the back of the figure, and so here is the back of the hairpiece. And I mean, look at the sculpting here. It's just so nicely done. I love the paint job as well. I love how it gradually fades from like light red to like a really dark red. It looks so good. So yeah, there's the hairpiece. Very, very impressive. That's probably like the most impressive part on this figure. Moving down here to the back of the figure itself, and here's a look at the back of the cloak. As I mentioned, very smooth textures, but certain areas have some nice folds and creases, just to make it look like fabric. But yeah, here's a look at the bottom of the cloak piece, and the back of the feet. Okay, and so here's a quick demo on the articulation for the figure. So right here at the head we have a ball joint, and same goes for the base of the neck, a ball joint. And right here at the shoulders we have ball hinge joints. Same goes for the elbows, we have ball hinge joints, and we have a peg joint for the wrist. Inside the torso piece we have a ball joints, and same goes for the waist, a ball joint. And now at the legs, as I mentioned, this our cloak piece is made out of like a soft piece of plastic, and it's also split into two pieces like so. So yeah, right here at the hip we have a ball joint in there, and here at the knee we have a double hinge joint. Here at the ankle we have a hinge joint, and here at the foot we have a swivel joint. So yeah, overall a pretty decent articulation for the figure. And so here's a look at how Axel holds these weapons. So I really cannot remember the name of these right now, so if any of you guys know the name of these weapons, then please do let me know in the comments below. I just really cannot remember the name of these weapons right now. But yeah, here's a look at how he holds them. So he does hold them pretty nicely. It is a pretty firm grip in his hands. But as I mentioned, the figure has a problem where the joints seem to pop off, and the wrists seem to pop off very easily on my figure. So yeah, just be careful with the wrists on this figure. And so here's a look at Axel holding this keyblade, and yeah, it's a super cool keyblade, such a nice design. So he does hold the keyblade pretty nicely. It's a pretty firm grip in his hand. As you can see, this here keychain part is made of plastic. I really wish that it was made out of like real keychain, like metal keychain, but yeah, it's a very minor detail. It still looks great nonetheless. So yeah, there's a look at Axel holding the keyblade. And so here we have Axel in the super iconic got it memorized pose, which I think is super cool of them to include this hand. It's definitely for the fans. Yeah, I think it looks great. I love this pose a lot. Okay, and so here's a look at the alternate head sculpts of Axel. So I don't think there's a big difference between this head sculpt and the previous head sculpt. I think this one just has like more of a smiling expression, but for the most part they are pretty similar, very crisp and clean. It's pretty much the exact same head sculpt. And of course right here we have the ice cream, the assault ice cream. So yeah, super cool of them to include these ice creams. And of course it comes with 3 ice creams for each of the main characters from Kingdom Hearts 358 Days. But yeah, there's a look at the alternate head sculpts on Axel. Alright guys, and so here's a quick look at my entire collection of Bring Art's Kingdom Hearts figures. So yeah, I've been collecting these figures for about 1 year now. And yeah, this is my collection so far. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So first up we have the Pirate Sora figure. Next up we have Kairi. At the back here we have another form Sephiroth, and here we have another form Cloud Strife. Next up we have Axel, and here we have the normal version of Sora. Next up here we have Riku, and here at the front we have the Shadow 2-pack, and we have the King, Mickey Mouse. So yeah, the only figures left are Roxas, Ventus, Aqua, and Xion. So yeah, I really cannot wait until those figures are released. But yeah guys, there's a quick look at my entire collection of Bring Art's Kingdom Hearts figures. Alright guys, and so that was a look at the Bring Art's Kingdom Hearts 3 Axel figure. So yeah guys, it is a pretty nice piece. It's not a perfect figure, it does have some problems, but for the most part, it is a very nice representation of the character. And if you guys are a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, or of the character of Axel, then yeah, you will definitely really enjoy this figure. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Leave a suggestion in the comments below for what video you guys want to see next, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Alright, take it easy guys.